And there's just so much to recommend. 8 o'clock tonight. I'll catch you again tomorrow at 11. Mike and Chris are next.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN.
Anthony Mason smack any more hoes lately?
Yeah, anything like
In
that?
the eye?
Mason was at a nightclub at about 4 o'clock in the morning the other day and has been charged with...
Again?
Yeah.
Again?
Yes. Yes.
This is another incident.
It was the same charity that he's been working with over the past several months.
What charity is this?
Charity
Helping Wayward
function.
Women?
The late night.
In fact, I believe that is the charity. Yeah.
And what's he accused of doing now?
For punching a woman in the face.
He punched a woman? No,
The woman says that. No charges have been filed against Mace.
These people should be just arrested.
Do I feel vindicated or what?
Well, if your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
He was simply defending himself, wasn't he?
That's what he was doing? 6'8", 300-pound guy?
She hit him over the head with a magazine first.
She wouldn't let him put his beer on her head.
Imus in the morning on the Fan. Sports Radio 66. WFAN.
WFAN New York, an Infinity broadcasting station. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good morning at 10 o'clock. This is John McFan, the flagship station for New York Mets baseball.
It's Mike and the Mad Dog covering the NFL Draft, live from Madison Square Garden. On the Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York.
Mike and the Mad Dog. Sports Radio 66. WFAN. They're talking sports, going at it as hard as they can. It's Mike and the Mad Dog on the Fan. Nothing can get by 'em. Turn it on and try 'em. Mike and the Mad Dog. WFAN.
Good morning, everybody. How are you today? The Mike and the Mad Dog Radio program from the NFL Draft. Good to have you with us. Talking about the world of sports today, and we got a busy day indeed. Lots going on from last night. Whether it was the Knicks relinquishing home court advantage, whether it was Tim Bogart bunting in the ninth, whether it was the Penguins losing their second straight to Doc Gooden. That's obviously part of the day, but the big part of the day is the draft. Nice to have you with us with Stevie Cohen and Joe Ellis here, and Mike tags along today as our co-pilot. Now, if you think Mike's a co-pilot...
Mike's a co-pilot, there's only one wheel.
Oh, baby.
Jets got the guy they wanted. Now, pay him a little bit more since he's the number one pick, but they got the guy they wanted. Giants get Cedric Jones. We'll get Dave T's point of view on him. We'll continue updating on what's going on in the second round as well. Is Mr. Olden still here? Yeah, here he comes. Paul Olden's got the update for you at 6 o'clock. Jody Mack on the Fan. Please keep it here.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN.
Perfect.
I'm in so many programs.
Stop, let me grab my sides. Go ahead, boss.
Grab my sides going in, so I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Rob Bartlett. Good morning, Rob.
Hey, man.
Yeah, how you doing, Howard? Hey, but there's some good news, man. What is it? Rogaine's over the counter now.
That's the kind of stuff you get. You don't get that anywhere else, baby.
You keep it right where it is. How about this, Milwaukee?
Oh, God.
So this is a disgraceful piece. Why is it disgraceful? Well, because, you did suck up to me a lot, but... Well, wasn't that the agenda? I guess, yeah. And you all excited about Vegas? Very excited, very pumped. You have the New York Times there? Yeah, I do. Okay, D9. Yeah. A big article on the I-Man. Really? Yeah. Well, of course, that's a D9. That's way back in the paper, isn't it? It's in the business.
Oh, it's back in the paper.
Yeah, it's in the business section of the New York Times, the most widely circulated paper in America, unlike Newsday, which you can't give away. Well, it's my weekly reader of Long Island. Yeah, okay, well.
Oh, God. Weekly reader.
So, Rob. Yeah. Here's your assignment today. Go ahead. You buy a copy of the New York Times. Yeah. You turn to page D9. Yeah. You memorize this article. Okay. And there'll be a test when you get to work today. Okay. Get off the phone. Oh, I just want to ask a question. Yeah. What shoe store is Bernie doing tomorrow? Oh.
I get it.
Oh.
it's a tire store on Saturday. To be quite honest with you.
26 after the hour. Also selected in the first round of the NFL draft, running back Lawrence Phillips of Nebraska, who wants to show the St. Louis Rams they made the right selection.
Just want to kind of show everybody that I have great character.
Sure, it takes a man with great character to say that with a straight face. Just a few short months after dragging a woman down a flight of stairs.
Yeah. Climbing up the outside of the building onto the back.
I was in England. I experimented with marijuana a time or two, and I didn't like it. And didn't inhale, and never tried it again. I experimented with marijuana, and I didn't like it.
Well, baby. You remember last summer I told you about...
I want to grow up to be just like Jesus and never have to work. Just travel around from town to town, wherever evil lurks. Cross the holy land with rod in hand and sandals on my feet. But I'll stop a while and I'll share a smile with everyone I meet. Imus in the morning.
It's back. The most incredible Jeep sales event of the year.
Shut up, Bernard, you bald-headed geek.
I'm not bald. Open your eyes. Look at Fred. He's bald.
Bernard, he looks old, doesn't he? He's aged a lot in 3 years.
Yeah, that's
You worked for me for 3 years.
Good try.
7 years. Bernard looks good, Fred.
He does?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breen, don't you think Breen's handsome?
Handsome?
Yeah.
Please. I think he looks good as Charles.
Yeah, Charles does look good.
Next to you. Next to you, Wolfman Jack looks good. Have mercy.
You know. Shut up, both of you out
Have a
there.
transfusion.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Well, now, Deidre and I are coming to your house in Santa Fe on August 11th, so...
And,
has anybody been back in your guest room since we've been there?
quite a few people.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Highway Patrol.
Imus in the morning. 2020 Sport. Newman on him inside, gets it, sends it topside to Lindsay for 3, and it's through. Oh, boy. 99-79, 6:09 to go. That could wrap this baby up, even this early.
The Bucks
I would
say yes
to that,
be quiet
George.
already. The Bucks finished with a loss. Good morning, Mike Breen with sports. Milwaukee Bucks finished their regular season with a 25 and 52nd record after yesterday's loss to the Pistons.
25 and 52nd record.
57. And that, of course, means a good pick in the draft. As for the postseason, there will be none for the Bucks, but we'll keep you up to date on Buck players' off-season plans throughout the summer months, as they are our favorite team in the NBA.
Well,
in baseball, the hottest team in the majors, the Milwaukee Brewers. They won their 7th in a row, beating the Kansas City Royals 5-4 yesterday. Brewers manager Phil Garner says they're playing smart baseball.
You know, a couple of years in there, we're going to win some ball games, sure, but a lot of times we won them just because we powered the ball or we just put it in play. But we're thinking a lot better now, and we need to stay right where we are, keep this approach. There'll be good games, there'll be bad games, but certainly now, while things are going well, we're doing well.
There's Phil Garner. Not a laugh riot, but we can always have Rob Bartlett write some lines for him. Yeah. Rob, of course, the most prolific and the funniest cast member of the Imus in the Morning program.
Right.
From football. Green Bay Packers had quite an NFL draft, including a big, large, huge offensive lineman from USC in the first round. Also from the NFL, Jets took Keyshawn Johnson, the flashy wide receiver from Southern Cal, who had quite a cerebral chat with Mike and the Mad Dog on WFAN in New York.
Keyshawn, how are you?
What's up?
Chris and Mike again, nice to see you.
What's up?
How you feeling, all right?
Keyshawn Johnson,
What's
after
up?
being selected with the
Should have
first
said what's up twice.
Yeah.
And just the excerpt that we heard. It would have been helpful had Chris and Mike answered him about what's up. This is what's up, Keyshawn.
What's up? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's up?
Well,
It's like that.
Some other news.
I hear you.
how did that interview go?
Went very well.
It did.
Yeah. We'll have much more later on in the program talking about our
Afternoon sports talk geeks here in New York, Fatso and Fruit Loops.
Maybe we can rerun that at 9:30.
Yeah, that'd be great. The jerking effect. Yeah.
NBA news, the Boston Celtics
To the studio, to the forum. Go ahead. No, Stephen Sondheim deal. Got as rave a review in the New York Times as is possible to get without having Mr. Zachs having written it himself.
as his advertising copy.
Yeah, stars Nathan Lane, the guy from Birdcage with...
Now, grasping at anything and everything in his struggle to maintain political relevance, the billionaire third-party reformer, H. Ross Perot.
Get away from me, kid. Get away. Could you get that thing shut back in its pen? Look at it. Them huge ears, them
Mr.
beady
Perot,
eyes. Huh?
that's your reflection in the studio window.
It is?
Yeah.
Well, never mind. Amos, what do you think? If this don't work, nothing will. Shaved my head, got on my peach-colored bathrobe. You like it?
What is the point here?
Third party, join the Christians. Here's my thinking. They already got a big grassroots organization in place.
Right.
Got a weird philosophy. They soak strangers for money, and everybody hates them.
Yeah.
Hell, I could have wrote that business plan. Perfect fit, Amos. And a great way for Ross Perot to get some focus back on Ross Perot. Now, what's our worst domestic policy problem?
Well, I guess tax reform, health care, minimum wage, maybe?
Nope. Free men. Holed up in Montana. Embarrassing, Amos. I got some charts. Let's drag them out here.
Oh, good.
Ross Perot's solution to the free men.
Right.
Now, this figure here, Amos, is Ted Kaczynski in a post office suit.
Right.
This here shows him being shoved out of a car at the front door of the Freemen's place.
Right.
This here shows the free men dropping him with a deer rifle, because they think he's a fed.
Sure.
But not before he drops off what I call a COD. A kaboom on delivery. And there you go. End the problem. And no dragged-out trial of the Unabomber.
Oh, good point.
Say, did you see me on Tim Russerd's program,
Yeah.
Meet the Fat Boy? I kept telling him, it's not about me. It's not about me. It's about getting under somebody's hood, yanking the waistband of his undershorts back, and seeing what he's packing him. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
Russerd, nice enough boy, but ain't got the sense of direction of a drunk on a grain elevator. Over his head. Ought to get out of the business. Amos, put April 28th on your calendar. Clinton testifying on video for Jim Guy Tucker and the McDougalls.
Oh, great.
Hope you got a writer's credit, because you know how they got him starting off?
No.
President looks into the camera, then looks down, and then he goes, wait a minute, these ain't my notes, and then denies everything. The way they got it figured, it worked for one pant load, ought to work for two.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to go visit Ross Perot's webpage?
No.
Good. Timothy Leary wrote her up for me. I call it Chill Out, Check Out, depending on how the election goes.
Right.
See, Leary's going to have his brain froze.
Right.
I'm negotiating right now to have my pecker froze, Amos.
Shut up.
You know why?
No.
It's bigger than my brain, and it's got a mind of its own. In fact, I'm thinking I probably ought to sign it up as my running mate. Ross Perot, the nation's corrector, running the free world, conferring with his pecker. Just a heartbeat away, Amos. Just a heartbeat away. And that sounds like a soundbite to me. Much obliged for having me on your show. You want to buy a poppy?
As you know.
And here now, Imus in Washington, senior military affairs analyst, the late General George S. Patton, Jr.
At ease, as you were. Welcome, people, to this morning's seminar entitled Nagasaki Souvlaki. Now then, as with the Hiroshima event, a great deal has been written on this subject. Most of it jelly nerve nonsense. Please indulge a few more thoughts on the matter from an old soldier. An individual who actually saw a little combat, by the way, unlike 99% of these sanctimonious, tight-assed, hand-wringing, hindsight historians who view our nation's war deeds through a pair of pink lace panties. Listen up, you squirrel-sucking simps, and learn something. Private, nuke those lights. Nice drop, soldier. Now fire up the overhead. Give me slide one. This, people, is Hideki Tojo, dictator, Japan. Now deceased because we hang the son of a bitch. Next slide. This little beauty, as you now know, was our ticket into the nuclear age, lads. Little boy, just 10 feet long, and, well, you people all know the tune. Let's sing her together. Just 10 feet long and impromptu, but oh, what those 10 feet could do. Has anybody seen my head? That's right, boys. 10 feet long, 26 inches in diameter, but yikes, what a bang. Anyway, you deposit the little bugger on Tojo here, and you make essentially an egg roll. And in the process, revisionist soreheads, you save, yes, actually save tens of thousands of lives. Once you sort everything out, likely including the lives of your own old man, you ingrates, so that he could produce you, so that you could criticize him. Now, speaking of hectoring hindsight sermonizers, where was I when America elected ABC's Peter Peter Jennings to the office of moral conscience of the country. Where does it say sponge-spined, lecherous Canadian immigrant passes judgment on American policies? Shut up! Peter Jennings doesn't think it was necessary to A-bomb the Japs? Well, I nearly agree, because it's clear to me that we also should have let a couple of them pop over Ottawa about 50 years ago. All right, let's conclude. Enough of these spud fart revisionists muddying our historical waters, people. Here's your bottom line. War is hell. Japan started it, we finished it. And back when you could name your aircraft Enola Gay without having Bill Clinton and the ACLU file some sob-sister suit over it. Despite the current interim occupant of the White House, the message of August 45 remains clear. This is still the U.S. of A, adversaries. You start it, we'll end it. And if necessary, with a nice hot serving of mushroom soup. Thank you for your attention. That is all.
Gladly walk across. You've got the magic touch. It makes me glow so much. It casts a spell. It rings a bell. The magic touch. Imus in the morning.
Fuji Films' new adventure. Imus in the Morning 2020 Sports rolls on.
The buzzer sounds for the end of the regular season. Good morning. Mike Breen with sports. NBA's 82-game schedule is complete. Let the playoffs begin. It'll start on Thursday. The favorites, the Chicago Bulls. The sleeper team, the club that no one wants to face, you guessed it, America's team, the New York Knicks. Knicks right now feeling loosey-goosey after their victory over the Boston Celtics yesterday. And also, as evidenced by this post-game interview Anthony Mason did with our NBA reporter, John Minko.
You know, one of these times we'll have to have you sing on the post-game show.
Well, I might do that.
You know, you may not...
The love ball.
Why not get him to punch a woman? How about that?
Yeah.
This is the same punk who shows up at 4 o'clock in the morning at some strip joint and punches a woman in the eyes. This is the same Anthony Mason who's yucking it up with Minko in the postgame.
Mace. Where's the National Organization for Women on this guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, because the woman was black, you don't care?
Well, that's why. Because it's a black woman. He punched a black woman. Nobody cares about this. What, do you have to drag a white woman down three
Apparently so.
3 flights of stairs for anybody to give a damn about it? I'm outraged. I am outraged at this, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's disgraceful.
Totally.
And first of all, I'm ashamed of you. And then I think you should have severed your association with the New York Knickerbockers as a result of this. You have plenty of other gigs. You're going to be working for NBC in the Olympics. What do you care?
He should have severed his relationship because the Knicks suck.
Well, that's a very good point, Fred. Yeah.
They're not going anywhere anyway, and thank God. What a great day this is. The regular basketball season's over.
Yeah, thank God.
They don't even have home court advantage. What a joke.
All right, here now. Let's get some more input here from nationally syndicated sports columnist Mike Lupica. So, by the way, Lupica, why aren't you on this Anthony Mason thing?
Well, I felt that Anthony and I had interacted about as much as we needed to earlier this season.
Well, that's right. Here's another thing. Anthony Mason, this punk, somehow gets Lupica's home phone up there in that la-di-da suburb he lives in Connecticut, up there at Yuppie Heaven, and calls Lupica and threatens to kill him.
It's like a Unabomber deal.
Yeah, I mean, Lupica's, this little harmless yuppie up there just beating away at his word process.
Mason's kind of redeemed himself.
Shut up, Fred.
Hey, Don.
Lupica.
Another story about the speech, huh?
Well, yeah.
Golly, there's good news. Freddy Krueger didn't have as many lives as this speech has had.
Lupica.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Nightmare on, Elm Street, Part 27.
Yeah.
The speech in Washington. The girl's going through the house going, Kenny, are you home? And then the lights come on and you're shuffling papers going, God, these aren't my notes.
Lupica. Do you know who Jane Mendel?
It's so easy to find an unhappy woman till I started looking for mine. Imus in the morning.
When it comes to family business, comment on headline issues of the day. Imus in Washington's senior political analyst, the late Richard M. Nixon.
Thank you. As always, thanks so much for permitting me to share my views with you and your nationwide audience. Imus in the morning. Issue 1, as we launch into the day's events without any idle chit-chat.
Good.
This headline, Radio Shock Jock, that would be you, resumes attack on Clinton administration, or words to that effect. You just don't know when to give it a rest, do you? I mean, that diatribe of 3 or 4 lines at the recent dinner speech was one thing, but now this four-word harangue you delivered during your Hall of Fame induction ceremony. It's just completely over the top. Clearly, in my view, Dono, you should be tried for treason and sedition. I also wonder whether CBS's Mike Wallace is beginning to understand, to some degree, why you tend to be a bit defensive regarding your public statements when they are embroidered, distorted, and exaggerated to this extent. Well, now you know what I dealt with back there during my much-maligned administration. The demonizing, the misrepresentation of facts, the utter flights of fancy the press wallowed in regarding me.
You tried to subvert the Constitution and sabotage the country.
Well, yeah, that. But it was no reason to paint me the bad guy, was it? After all, as you know very well, Dono, I am not a crook. Right. Anyway, a wonderful induction ceremony into the National Association of Broadcasters Hall of Fame, and an honor most deserved. Yeah. A very thoughtful gift they came up with for you, in my judgment. 30 beavers. Great. That'll keep you entertained for a while, huh?
No.
Old Lothario?
No.
Gonna rock and roll all night long. Oh, my God. Reminds me of the Kennedy administration.
No.
You see, when
they gave me a 30X beaver cowboy hat.
They gave you a cowboy hat?
Yeah.
You didn't get 30 babes?
No.
Oh, geez, I'm sorry, Dono. I mean, I know that you put your head in a cowboy hat, but it wasn't at all what I was thinking.
It'll be fine.
Well, the hell with the Hall of Fame. Anyway, speaking of cowboys, certainly enjoyed Willie Nelson's appearance on your very fine program, J.D. Wonderful talent, but a very scruffy-looking individual. Well, I mean, give the Unabomber a guitar, you've got Willie Nelson. Or your brother Fred, as I think about it. Now, there's something they could post odds on at the Mirage. Who had the most recent bath? Fred Imus, Willie Nelson, or the Unabomber? And looking at Fred and Willie, I'm giving 5-1. It's Boom Boy Kaczynski. Just kidding, Dono.
Fine.
Anywho, we've yacked here and said absolutely nothing.
Yes.
Final thought, then. When are you getting a web page, Kinky Friedman's got one, you know.
I know.
I'm thinking I'd like to see you get one like Timothy Leary's. You heard about that?
No.
He's going to ace himself on the internet. Calls it turn on, tune in, drop dead. Something I believe you might want to give some consideration before your daughters launch their crusade to add to your honors the following title: the oldest student pilot to fly halfway across the country.
Shut up.
Ouch. There's part of your world as viewed through the eye of this Dick, man, that of Dick Nixon, unjustly battered, dead former president of the United States.
And we all heard the president, in his obvious excitement, holler, "Go, baby!"
Oh, God.
I remember commenting at the time,
You son of a bitch.
I bet that's not the first time he said that.
Yeah, the first time I said it was with your mama, you wrinkled up old bastard.
And my point is...
What is your point, you drunk?
Imus in the morning.
Your lease.
All right, here now with observation and comment on headline issues of the day. From the hood, Imus in Washington, Snoop Doggy Dog.
Yo, Snoop is in the house, kicking it old school for all the hoes and homies in the hood. Boy, got a black man bulletin for y'all, this just in. Meat check for all my British brothers. I suggest that before you bite into that Big Mac, take a long, hard look at what's living in your lunch. And you think that's hard to swallow? What's up with the FBI putting on kid gloves, dealing with them Freeman and Montana? Could it be because ain't no brothers in that particular organization? A black man should know better than to think his name and the word free ever be found in the same sentence. But hey, at least it's not denoted in California. You don't have to be just an African American to get your ass kicked anymore. I'm dropping the signs, time to pump up the bass. Snoop about to get in your face. On the other side of the pond, ain't no relief to the greed. Damn Lyman's got some trouble with some nasty looking beef. Although you never see me put no cow on my fork, no stressing, just don't be messing with my pork. What's my name?
Snoop Dogg.
What's my name? What's my name?
Snoop Dogg.
G-Man, don't be messing with the free man. But the B and FBI must stand for bigotry, man. Brothers in the farmhouse, you know what the man to do? Make that bonfire in Waco look like a church barbecue. What's my name?
Dog.
What's my name? What's my name?
Snoop Dogg.
Out in California, it's the very latest thing. High speed chase and a beating just like Rodney King. But them illegal taco vendors must have learned their lesson well. Next time, don't be trying to buy the Liberty Bell. Yo, Jose.
Snoop Dogg.
Give me some of that chronic, y'all. Acapulco Gold. What's my name? Nah, serious. What is my name? I forgot. I'm getting chinky-eye on the stimuli, yo. What is my name?
Anthony Mason smack any more hoes lately?
Yeah, anything like
In the
that?
eye?
Mason was at a nightclub at about 4 o'clock in the morning the other day and has been charged with...
Again?
Yeah.
Again?
Yes. Yes.
This is another incident.
It was the same charity that he's been working with over the past several months.
What charity is this? Helping wayward women?
The late night... In fact, I believe that is the charity.
Yeah. And what's he accused of doing now?
For punching a woman in the face.
He punched a woman? No,
the woman says that. No charges have been filed against Mace.
These people should be just arrested.
Do I feel vindicated or what? If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
He was simply defending himself, wasn't he?
That's what he was doing? 6'8", 300-pound guy?
She hit him over the head with a magazine first.
She wouldn't let him put his beer on her head.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
I'd like you to take a look at the audio box.
In the morning, flashback.
The following is a paid political announcement on behalf of the senior senator from the state of Massachusetts, the Honorable Edward M. Kennedy.
Thank you, and up yours. Here with just days remaining till the midterm election, the most crucial for me in my 32 years representing you in Washington, I stand before you fortified by the welcome news that the latest voter survey conducted by the Boston Herald newspaper shows that I have now surged ahead of my opponent by 10 percentage points, 50 to 40%. What does this mean for me and for you? It means that, confronted by my most serious re-election challenge ever, I have managed to stem the tide and turn back did I say stem the tide?
Yeah.
I should like to employ an alternative phrase, if I may. I have managed to repel the forces of intolerance, that's better, that are seeking to stifle progressive change, and suck enough of you fools in one more time to enable me to return to the greatest deliberative body the world has ever known, and say with confidence and great vigor, now what, Mitt? And how has this happened? The answer is easily obtainable. You, my fellow Bay Staters, have either lost your moral compass or really never had one in the first place, and care not whether one of your United States senators is a fat slob with a head the size of a dumpster who is utterly devoid of virtue, or for that matter, of any redemptive quality. For this, I thank you, even though I don't need you anymore, as it is equally clear now that I can win in Massachusetts without any regard to my record, either inside or outside my Senate office, simply on the basis of some fraudulent counterfeit mystique conferred upon the Kennedy name. No longer am I desperate. Never again shall you hear the senator groveling for votes by singing Itsy Bitsy Spider in front of a bunch of youngsters I'd sick my dog on if I found them trespassing in my yard. The itsy bitsy children pick their nose and pout. Down came the senator and threw the bastards out. No more of that, you believe you me. No, the only downside to my resurgence in the polls, in my view, is the fact that I had already made plans to appear with that albatross Clinton in Framingham at some pointless bill signing when I absolutely didn't need him. And now have to fidget and wait, much like anticipating the results of an AIDS test, to see whether his appearance killed me, as it has killed so many other incumbent Democrats on across our great nation. And yes, another negative is the fact that re-election will ensure that I shall continue to be made the subject of puerile amusement here on the Imus in the Morning program. And therefore, I shall continue to refuse to appear here in any forum other than a paid political announcement. And so, let the word go forth from this time and place that the torch of fickle public opinion has been passed from my opponent back to me, so that I can now go back to taking you and the high office to which you elected me for granted. I close, then, by expressing my gratitude to you saps for driving this reinvigorated campaign. Was that a driving reference? I meant propelling.
Good morning, Dominic.
Good morning.
What's the matter?
On your Kennedy parody, you have that drowning sound blurb, and I think that's connected with a tragedy, and I don't think that particular thing should be attached. It says you may not do that with other tragedies.
Are you in your car?
Yes.
Okay, be careful.
You are everything vile and sickening.
Your radio sounds funny in the morning. You're listening to Imus in the morning.
Why would you humiliate the man?
I didn't humiliate.
By doing exactly what he was complaining about. Man,
I don't know. Is he still there? Hello?
Charles, are you there?
Yes, I am,
Could you
sir.
please blow his brains out?
Absolutely.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Copyright 1996, Infinity Broadcasting. Chet?
No. There's...
All rights reserved. Imus in the Morning is a presentation of WFAN and Westwood One Entertainment. Good night, Chet.
This concludes the entertainment and revenue-generating portion of your broadcast day. We now return you to the rest of your local programming schedule. An indecipherable embarrassment of broadcasting incompetence that compelled the station to subscribe to the Imus in the Morning program in the first place. The entertainment and revenue-generating portion of the broadcast day, the Imus in the Morning program, will resume tomorrow morning. Check your local listings for time and schedule.
For sports scores and sports news, it's WFAN 2020 Sports at the top of the hour, 20 past the hour, and 20 before the hour. That's 2020 Sports all day, every day on the Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York, an Infinity Broadcasting station. WFAN 2020 Sports.
It's 10 o'clock. Good morning. This is Mike Breen. It's 62 right now. That's what's happening. I'm Mike Breen, WFAN 2020 Sports, the flagship station for New York Rangers hockey.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York.
And a very good morning, everybody. Russ Salzberg with you here, along with my partner, Steve Summers, the sweater and the schmoozer.
The Rangers rise from the graves.
Monday, on this very pleasant Monday morning, the 22nd of April, 1996. The number, as always, 718-937-6666. You are listening to Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York. And so you're listening to Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York. We'll be back after Steve finishes writing, I miss Howard, I miss Howard, I miss Howard. Oh, how I miss Howard.
Sports Radio 66, the Fan, WFAN.
It's opening round. Rangers hockey.
Sports Radio 66, the Fan, WFAN, New York.
Well, good afternoon to you, and how you be at 1:04 and 15 seconds on a Monday afternoon on the Fan, New York City. The sweater, Russ Salzberg, Steve Summers here, you there, Dove Kramer, Eddie Scazzeri on the other side of the glass.
Eddie Scazzeri?
No, Ed Asner. Who do you think we're talking? 718-937-6666. The midday schmooze continuing for one more hour until Mike and the Mad Dog at 2 on the Fan, New York.
All right, 1:04 tomorrow. Bye-bye. So long and
farewell.
Sports Radio 66, the Fan, WFAN.
Oh, you're not the brother of the president, Roger Clinton. Good morning, Roger.
It's not Roger, Don.
Oh, hi, Mr. President. How are you?
What happened to you?
Well,
Me and Hillary were expecting you for brunch on Friday. How come you didn't show? Nice performance the other night.
well, thank you.
You're really funny, you know that?
Yeah.
Hillary and I haven't laughed that hard since the first subpoenas came in. Really funny.
Well,
you son of a...
Your radio sounds funny in the morning. You're listening to Imus in the Morning.
What the hell were you thinking about, you wrinkled up old... We should have gone with our first choice for the entertainment. Had Al D'Amato do his impressions. We could have done worse if we asked the Unabomber to speak.
Imus in the morning on the Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
WFAN New York, an Infinity Broadcasting station. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good afternoon at 2 o'clock. This is John Minko.
Imus in the morning, 2020 Sports. Let's go to the audio tape.
2-1 pitch. Check swing, ground ball, right side. Cordero has it to his left. Throws to first. The ball game is over, and the Red Sox have won it.
A rare victory for Boston. Good morning. Mike Breen with sports, sponsored by the MTA. Boston beating Minnesota 4-1 at the Metrodome. Red Sox led by Will Cordero, who had 3 hits and 3 RBIs and a smile on his face.
I mean, definitely a good win for us, you know. In the last side, we've been a little bit struggling to score on. But today, we think we have some big hits and pitching. It takes some pressure out of our pitching staff, too.
So a good win for the Red Sox, but on the losing end, the Orioles dropped their 5th straight 6-3 loss to the Indians in Cleveland. Roberto Alomar knows this team's going to go through something like this.
That's the way it's going for us right now. We've been struggling a little bit. We've been scoring a lot of runs, but nothing else we can do about it. You know, we've been hitting the ball real good, right at somebody, and they've been catching it. But, you know, when you make those kind of plays they make over there, you have to tip the hat and just continue to play the game, and hopefully something happens.
While the Orioles lose, the Yankees win, defeated the Royals in Kansas.
Show. You want to buy a puppy? Rock, bam-a-loom, bam, bamboo.
Imus in the morning.
Sitting still. For 10 years after finishing college, I made my living by running around in short pants in drafty arenas across America as a professional basketball player. The rhythm of the road, a drive, a flight, a performance, a hotel, a sleep, and a drive, a flight, a return, provided a frame through which I saw America and myself.
Imus in the morning.
Ford Corporation is college, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a liberal in the White House. Well, you got trouble. Right here I say trouble in the capital city. Why, sure, I'm opinionated. Mighty proud to say I said I'm mighty proud to say it. I consider that the words I speak and the truth they impart are golden. It's conservative horse sense. I got half my brain tied behind my back. Did you ever try and get a Democrat to debate and his platform folds up just like a tent? But just as I say it takes judgment, brains, and morality to lead this fine country of ours, I say that any boob can flush the whole thing down the toilet. And I call him Bill. The first false step on the road to the big White House there up on the hill, that liberal whine about health care from Hillary Rodham. And the next thing you know, your Bubba's saying he tried it, but he didn't inhale. And we're listening to Mrs. Big Town Lawyer telling 60 Minutes she don't bake cookies. Not a housewife, Hillary, no, but a dame who don't know when to shut up. Like to see some feminazi babe sitting in the Oval Office? Make your blood boil? Well, I should say. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 years of liberal twaddle. This country needs something different than a promiscuous pantload putz with a capital P, and that rhymes with B, and that stands for Bill. And all day long, your liberal politicians are frittering away. I say these bureaucrats be frittering away your base pay, net pay, sick pay too. Gotta raise them taxes. Never mind getting deficits reduced, or the immigrants curbed, or the economy started. And never mind the military budget till the commies are here and they're camping in your parlor on a Saturday night, and that's trouble. Oh yes, you got lots and lots of trouble. I'm frightened for the kids in the grammar schools, innocent young ones, thinking one day of voting Democratic. Trouble! In the capital city, trouble with a capital T, and that rhymes with B, and it stands for Bill. Now, I know all you folks are my kind of people, so I'm going to be perfectly clear. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes down between the liberals in the House and the Senate? They talk about taxes, socialized programs, setting up welfare states for indigent thieves, and bragging all about how they got together and banned assault-type weapons. One fine day, they'll close the ghettos, sending all the gangs to the suburbs, drug-dealing punks, cop-killing homies, and hip-hop. Shameless music that'll drag your son and your daughter into the basest common denominator, interracial marriage. Friends, the idle brain is the liberals' trademark. Trouble. Oh, we got trouble. In the capital city. In the capital city. With a capital T, and that rhymes with B, and that stands for Bill. That stands for Bill. We've surely got trouble. We've surely got trouble. In the capital city. Right here. Our kids are being led by an immoral imbecile.
Our children's children gonna have trouble.
Mothers of America, heed that warning before it's too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. The minute your son leaves the house, does he automatically become politically correct? Is there a stain on his shirt from a bleeding heart? A saxophone hidden in the corn crib? Is he dropping trow at church socials in front of the ladies' auxiliary? Are certain words creeping into his vocabulary? Words like entitlements, and I feel your pain. Well, if so, my friends, you got trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
In the capital city.
In the capital city.
With a capital C, and that rhymes with B, and that stands for Bill.
That stands for Bill.
We've surely got trouble.
We've surely got trouble.
In the capital city.
Right here.
This Arkansas Hicks turning our fruity plain into Hooterville.
Our children's children gotta have trouble.
We got trouble. We got terrible, terrible trouble. He's spooning out lukewarm liberal pap, and I've had my fill. Oh, yes, we got trouble, trouble, trouble.
Oh, yes, we got trouble here. We got big, big trouble.
T.
Capital T.
Gotta rhyme with B. And it stands for Bill. Megadiddles, my friends. This is Rush Limbaugh with Talent Alone from God. Good morning, Cardinal O'Connor.
Good morning to God, lass.
Been a long time, Mr. Lamar.
Yes, it has.
Not long enough, you cradle-robbing cadaver, you be Jesus.
That will be fine.
The winning numbers in the New York State Lottery is as follows.
That's why you're here, to report those, and that's it.
What's vulgar is the sound of your cocaine-damaged nostrils wheezing in the background, I tell you that. What's obscene is your salary, you pigeon-chested pedophile, you.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Lamar.
What?
What do you get when you cross a crooked politician with a crooked lawyer?
I don't know.
Chelsea Clinton, PG, I tell you that. The win phone number.
Imus in the morning.
Wait a minute.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
If you're looking for a great vacation.
Come on, Beavis. We'll be late for the Pope.
How come we have to meet him at the airport?
He's a spiritual leader, Beavis. As president, I'm obligated to welcome him to our country.
Couldn't you just send a limo to pick him up?
He's got the Pope-mobile for that.
Pope-mobile?
A bulletproof vehicle for the Faunus protection.
If the Pope is like God's roadie, how come he needs a bulletproof car?
There's already been an assassination attempt against him, Beavis.
Boy, somebody's really got to want to go to hell and take a shot at the Pope.
Now, I want you to behave yourself when we get out to the runway. Don't do anything stupid.
You mean I can't yell, Jews suck, the Pope rules?
No. Now, after His Holiness exits the plane, he'll bless the crowd, then come down the steps and kiss the ground.
Isn't he coming into Newark Airport?
Yes.
In Newark, New Jersey? Don't you think he'd be better off kissing the governor?
I don't think so, Davis.
Hey, Bubba, he's wearing a dress.
You know, Davis, the Pope makes my knees knock.
Shut up, both of you. God, get out of here. I am Imus in the morning. Bubba Lannis Morissette is coming up, but I got one hand in my pocket. And Imus in Washington and Senator
of the state of Massachusetts, the Honorable Edward M. Kennedy.
Thank you, and up yours. Here with just days remaining till the midterm election, the most crucial for me in my 32 years representing you in Washington, I stand before you fortified by the welcome news that the latest voter survey conducted by the Boston Herald newspaper shows that I have now surged ahead of my opponent by 10 percentage points, 50 to 40%. What does this mean for me and for you? It means that, confronted by my most serious re-election challenge ever, I have managed to stem the tide and turn back the... Did I say stem the tide? I should like to employ an alternative phrase, if I may. I have managed to repel the forces of intolerance, that's better, that are seeking to stifle progressive change, and suck enough of you fools in one more time to enable me to return to the greatest deliberative body the world has ever known, and say with confidence and great vigor, now what, Mitt? And how has this happened? The answer is easily obtainable. You, my fellow Bay Staters, have either lost your moral compass or really never had one in the first place, and care not whether one of your United States senators is a fat slob with a head the size of a dumpster who is utterly devoid of virtue, or for that matter, of any redemptive quality. For this, I thank you, even though I don't need you anymore, as it is equally clear now that I can win in Massachusetts without any regard to my record, either inside or outside my Senate office, simply on the basis of some fraudulent counterfeit mystique conferred upon the Kennedy name. No longer am I desperate. Never again shall you hear this senator groveling for votes by singing Itsy Bitsy Spider in front of a bunch of youngsters I'd sick my dog on if I found them trespassing in my yard. The itsy bitsy children pick their nose and pout. Down came the senator and threw the bastards out. No more of that, you believe you me. No, the only downside to my resurgence in the polls, in my view, is the fact that I had already made plans to appear with that albatross Clinton in Framingham at some pointless bill signing when I absolutely didn't need him. And now have to fidget and wait, much like anticipating the results of an AIDS test, to see whether his appearance killed me, as it has killed so many other incumbent Democrats on across our great nation. And yes, another negative is the fact that re-election will ensure that I shall continue to be made the subject of puerile amusement here on the Imus in the Morning program. And therefore, I shall continue to refuse to appear here in any forum other than a paid political announcement. And so, let the word go forth from this time and place that the torch of fickle public opinion has been passed from my opponent back to me, so that I can now go back to taking you and the high office to which you elected me for granted. I close, then, by expressing my gratitude to you saps for driving this reinvigorated campaign. Was that a driving reference? I meant propelling.
Secretary's Day and to Vermont.
1896, Infinity Broadcasting. Listen up, people. All rights reserved. Imus in the Morning is a presentation of WFAN and Westwood One Entertainment. That is all.
This concludes the entertainment and revenue-generating portion of your broadcast day. We now return you to the rest of your local programming schedule. An indecipherable embarrassment of broadcasting incompetence that compelled this station to subscribe to the Imus in the Morning program in the first place. The entertainment and revenue-generating portion of the broadcast day, the Imus in the Morning program, will resume tomorrow morning. Check your local listings for time and schedule.
For sports scores and sports news, it's WFAN 2020 Sports at the top of the hour, 20 past the hour, and 20 before the hour. That's 2020 Sports all day, every day on the Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York, an Infinity Broadcasting station. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good morning. It's 10 o'clock. I'm Joe Thomas. Now,
The Democrat of Massachusetts, who is seeking a third term in the United States Senate. By the way, I want you to know, the reason you're being inducted is because of Washington. Oh, it is? Sure, you died. Well, that's all right. Thank you very much. The last guy I saw sweat that much was Richard Nixon. I want you to know. If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the Morning. I got to tell you, though, remember who stuck with you during that time of adversity? Yes. We were there. We were saying, no, this is okay. I do remember. You know, me, Pee Wee Herman, and Billy Buckner.
Imus in the Morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Imus in the Morning, 2020 Sports. Let's go to the audio tape.
The pitch. There's a drive down the right field line, way back. This ball is off the base of the scoreboard, and the Orioles win 6-5.
another night, another Red Sox loss. Well, good morning. Mike Breen with sports. Jerry Trupiano with the call on WEEI Radio in Boston. Red Sox off to their worst start in the 96-year history of the ball club. 6-5 and 12 to the
Why do you
Orioles
think this is
last night.
amusing?
It's not amusing. I'm just reporting the facts.
Well,
They've dropped 7 straight. They have the worst record in baseball at 2-12. And with last night's loss, they've been mathematically eliminated from postseason play. Manager Kevin Kennedy was asked to analyze what happened.
We just didn't play well. We didn't play well. We don't have it. There's no excuses. We just didn't play well.
Same old story. Here you go. Searching for answers.
well, why do you? I don't understand why you find this amusing. We're big Red Sox fans here, man. Chuck.
Yes, we are.
And the Cardinals Chuck likes the Cardinals.
Absolutely, but the Red Sox are nothing I'd rather see than a Red Sox win.
Man, I can't wait till the next. Who does the next play first in the playoffs?
Could be determined tonight. They play the Cleveland Cavs tonight in what could be a battle for big playoff positioning.
Right. Well, I hope they lose the first round.
We'll see about that.
These thugs.
We'll make a little wager.
Well, we're not going to do anything.
Anthony Mason smack any more hoes lately?
Yeah, anything like that.
eye?
Mason was at a nightclub at about 4 o'clock in the morning the other day and has been charged with...
Again?
Yeah.
Again?
Yes.
Yes. This is another incident.
It was the same charity that he's been working with over the past several months.
Which charity is this? Helping wayward women?
The late night. In fact, I believe that is the charity.
Yeah. And what's he accused of doing now?
For punching a woman in the face.
He punched a woman? No,
No woman says that. No charges have been filed against Mace.
He punched a woman in the face.
No, he's been charged.
Well, what did she make it up?
She's got a black eye.
She has a black eye.
But
It's not really black eye.
he was simply defending himself, wasn't he?
That's what he was doing? 6'8", 300-pound guy?
She hit him over the head with a magazine first.
She wouldn't let him put his beer on her head.
That's where I draw the line.
Oh, man,
No, he has not been charged.
No, but this is disgraceful. That's disgraceful. What's he doing at 4 o'clock? What time did this happen?
About 4 o'clock in the
4
morning.
o'clock in the morning.
Charity felt the auction went a little long, I suppose.
He pulled her a ditch and punched her in the eye. That's the report.
Really?
That's exactly what it says in the paper.
Oh, well, I mean, these people should be just arrested.
Do I feel vindicated or what? Totally and completely vindicated.
Well, think Bernard has a point, Mike.
Yep.
Okay, press on.
Other games, Cleveland Indians lost a tough one.
That's nice.
Oh, God.
What is it? I mean, what motivates you to do that?
I have no idea.
Go ahead, Mike.
And if it's what a listen.
The
Cleveland Indians lost the game. Tough one to the Twins of Minnesota 9-8. But the Indian spirits were raised.
Nelson and Kinky Friedman coming up this morning.
Well, my daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave much to Ma and me. Just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Now, I don't blame him because he run and hid, but the meanest thing that he ever did was before he left, he went and named me Imus in the morning.
All right, April 24th is Secretary's Day and the Vermont Teddy Bear function.
In the morning.
Now with comment and observation on headline issues of the day, Imus and Washington's senior political analyst, the late Richard M. Nixon.
Yes. Thank you very much as always. Imus in the morning. And thank you very much as well to your broccoli-brained brother, Fred, who is bound and determined to ruin me.
What is wrong now?
These football picks. He's killing me. And I'm the idiot because I went with him. Giants over Green Bay. Oakland over KC. The Jacksonville Jaguars over the Jets, for God's sake. I'm down like $400. You know how tough that is for a guy in my position to make up, J.D.?
What exactly is your position?
Horizontal, you meathead. I'm dead. Do you know how limited the opportunities are for a dead guy?
No.
Although I see you've overcome it.
Shut up.
Just kidding. Anywho, while we're on the subject of opportunities and such, issue 1, and I'm treating this in depth today, Powell-mania, as it's being described, rolling with colon. Have you ever seen anything like it?
No.
Perfect candidate, they say. Military hero, humble beginnings, 90s conservative with a 60s consciousness. Well, we're seeing a little more of the general of late. These book appearances, interviews, 2020 with Barbara Walters the other day, and the general is beginning to emerge from the mist. Now, I know he's decent, honorable, and all of that. No argument there. However, after the Walters interview, I feel duty-bound to be very candid with you, Donna. After all, I held that high office to which the general perhaps aspires. And so, unpopular as it might be, I'm here to say I don't believe this nation is ready for a president who looks and sounds as though he'd be much more comfortable fronting a steel band in Trinidad than fronting the United States of America. Hate me if you will, but I say Colin Powell's a few links shy of a full DNA chain, Donald. Lovely man. Jamaican immigrant parents, fine people. And maybe that's why I get the distinct impression Citizen Powell belongs in a Hawaiian shirt with a conga drum slung over his shoulder out in front of a salsa group doing those little synchronized steps with 3 other guys with ruffles on their sleeves and never under any circumstances in the Oval Office. Well, I've shot my time and wad. But if you'll indulge me, I'd like to close with an ode to the co-man.
Oh, good.
Now, you fellas sing the lines I've highlighted here, okay? All right, let's kick it. Well, don't know if I be a candidate. Democrat come and he want him go away. Don't know what I'm supposed to say. Republican come and he want him go away. Maybe too late to be the black man's hope. The more he talk, the more we hear a dope. Dale, Dale, is he left or is he right? Dale, Dale, he may be a general, but he ain't no Ike. Ain't bail for that one, I dude. A most unflattering look through the Dick Scope today by Dick Nixon and friends, deceased former president of the United States.
Despite a New York Times ceremony for this Hall of Fame deal, this broadcasting deal, passed last Saturday night, and the room was full of people there who should have gotten out.
Yeah.
Give it up.
Don't know when it's over.
Art Linkletter is 82 years old, still talking about getting another show. Monty Hall inducted Art Linkletter into this. And Monty Hall said it's over.
Behind door number 3 is a wheelchair, Monty.
It is over.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Mr. McCall is here now. Good morning, Mr. McCall.
Good morning, Mr. Imus. How are you?
I'm fine. I got your facts yesterday. I have won 3 Marconis, not 2.
Well, I just lost $100. I bet Carver we could go 30 seconds before you mention those 3 Marconis.
In the morning. Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
Kinky Friedman and the Texas G-Boy. I believe Willie Nelson and Waylon and Billy Swan and And Tom Paul Glazer and some of them folks are all on that record.
No kidding.
I believe they did that at Glazer Brothers in Nashville. I believe now. You think I would know?
Right. Imus in the morning.
This is WFAN in New York, an Infinity Broadcasting Station. It's time for the local news, and here with that is Charles McCoy. Good morning, Chuck.
Good brother sounds a little torqued off this morning, doesn't he?
He sounds a little concerned whether or not everything is absolutely being treated fairly.
I'm very happy this morning because Bernhard won the Good Ranch 400.
There you go.
And Butterbean got another win last night.
Who's Butterbean?
This 310-pound heavyweight fighter.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
When Butterbean gets them in the corner, they don't get out alive.
Have you seen Butterbean fight, Charles?
I've seen pictures of him, I bet.
Looks like Sally Struthers shake her head.
Your radio sounds funny in the morning. You're listening to Imus in the morning.
Hey, do you know what a guy with a big penis eats for breakfast?
And Fred, God, how did we suddenly go from from talking sports to? No, I don't.
I didn't think so.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
The plane of clowns.
Mike and the Mad Dog. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Let me just explain this to Judge Pantywaist, Judge John Pantywaist Brennan. Shut up. Yeah, really, come on. And don't you have something better to do? Why don't you make Albuquerque safe, you moron? Sure. Instead of worrying about me and Fat Rush Limbaugh. Absolutely. Wear some clothes under your robe for a change. Yeah, how about doing that? I mean, what is that all about? Turn loose a couple of more freeloading buggers. Yeah, why don't you do that? If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning. Why are you laughing, Bernard, you bald-headed Nazi?
Because you're an idiot.
Huh?
Hey, I saw Bernard on C-SPAN where you guys were on a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he looks like a before picture for the Hair Club for Men ads.
Go brush your tooth, you jerk.
In the morning on the fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
WFAN New York, an Infinity Broadcasting Station. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good afternoon. It's 3 o'clock. This is Ian Eagle. I think the one thing we know is that it takes...
They severed the penis of Domingo Morales when he, these are her words, when he stiffed her, refusing to pay for a sex act that she had performed. They're still searching the apartment building for the missing organ.
What if they had to find yours? Wouldn't that be a real...
What do you mean?
Well, because it'd be like looking for a needle in a haystack.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
But a friend of this guy...
Of course they could find the eye man. Playing there about that.
Look for the one with the sores on it.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Imus in the morning, 2020 Sports rolls on. Wait a minute. Do you have your headphones on, Warner?
I do have phones on.
But you know what? There's no sound in it. Oh, there's a little dial right there. See, right next to where they're plugged in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Warner's only been in radio for like 30 years. Jesus God.
Is that what they're called? Those are Mickey Mouse ears.
Control.
It won't work if you can't hear anything.
Give me that new stuff. All right, here now for Mike Breen is Warner Wolf. Good morning, Warner.
All right, Don, thank you very much. Tampa Bay won their first Stanley Cup playoff game ever. Brian Bellows scored 9 minutes into overtime, beat the Flyers 2-1, tie the series 1-1. Here was the call.
Played ahead, blocked by Brad, cuts it into the Flyers zone, drops to the spot, Bellows, a shot, he does! He scores! He scores! He scores! He scores! Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Yes, sir!
Those guys keyed up or what? Larry Hirsch and Steve Dunning in WFNS in Tampa.
Wow.
Rangers down 3-0. Second period came back, tied the Canadians 3-3, only to lose 5-3. Vincent Damphousse beat the Rangers game 1, did it again last night, scored the game winner with 3.5 to go.
Now, these games were both at the Garden, right?
That's right.
So they have a comment on headline issues of the day. Imus in Washington's senior political analyst, the late Richard M. Nixon.
Thank you. As always, thanks so much for permitting me to share my views with you and your nationwide audience. Imus in the morning.
Issue 1, as we launch into the day's events without any idle chit-chat. Good. This headline, Radio Shock Jock, that would be you, resumes attack on Clinton administration, or words to that effect. You just don't know when to give it a rest, do you? I mean, that diatribe of 3 or 4 lines at the recent dinner speech was one thing, but now this 4-word harangue you delivered during your Hall of Fame induction ceremony. It's just completely over the top. Clearly, in my view, Dotto, you should be tried for treason and sedition. I also wonder whether CBS's Mike Wallace is beginning to understand, to some degree, why you tend to be a bit defensive regarding your public statements when they are embroidered, distorted, and exaggerated to this extent. Well, now you know what I dealt with back there during my much-maligned administration. The demonizing, the misrepresentation of facts, the utter flights of fancy the press wallowed in regarding me.
You tried to subvert the Constitution and sabotage the country.
Well, yeah, that. But it was no reason to paint me the bad guy, was it? After all, as you know very well, Dono, I am not a crook. Anyway, a wonderful induction ceremony into the National Association of Broadcasters Hall of Fame, and an honor most deserved. A very thoughtful gift they came up with for you, in my judgment. 30 beavers. Great. That'll keep you entertained for a while, huh? The old Lothario? No. Gonna rock and roll all night long. Oh, my God. Reminds me of the Kennedy administration.
No.
You see, when
they gave me a 30X beaver cowboy hat.
They gave you a cowboy hat?
Yeah.
You didn't get 30 babes?
No.
Oh, geez, I'm sorry, Dono. I mean, I know that you put your head in a cowboy hat, but it wasn't at all what I was thinking.
You'll be fine.
Well, the hell with the Hall of Fame. Anyway, speaking of cowboys, certainly enjoyed Willie Nelson's appearance on your very fine program, J.D. Wonderful talent, but a very scruffy-looking individual. I mean, give the Unabomber a guitar, you've got Willie Nelson. Or your brother Fred, as I think about it. Now, there's something they could post odds on at the Mirage. Who had the most recent bet? Fred Imus, Willie Nelson, or the Unabomber? And looking at Fred and Willie, I'm giving 5 to 1. It's Boom Boy Kaczynski. Just kidding, Dono. Anywho, we've yacked here and said absolutely nothing.
Yes.
Final thought, then. When are you getting a web page, Kinky Friedman's got one, you know.
I know.
I'm thinking I'd like to see you get one like Timothy Leary's. You heard about that?
No.
He's going to ace himself on the internet. Calls it Turn On, Tune In, Drop Dead. Something I believe you might want to give some consideration before your daughters launch their crusade to add to your honors the following title: the oldest student pilot to fly halfway across the country. Shout out. There's part of your world as viewed through the eye of this Dick, man, that of Dick Nixon, unjustly battered, dead former president of the United States.
Christopher Guest as B.B. King.
Oh, you know my baby left me. We been gonna have a date for quite a while. I developed a strong emotional attachment. We been gonna have a date for quite a while. But her affections have been alienated, and so she changed her domicile. Every day I feel depressed. I'm experiencing psychological reaction to environmental stress. Oh yeah.
Imus in the morning.
During the course of this, we can hear it right now if Willie wants to sing. You want to introduce it?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Okay, here we go.
Well, I'm not really, I'm not an introducer type.
Let's see.
Whistle that Imus do.
I want you to do it, Kinky.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, here is little Jimmy Dickens singing. No, let's try it. Hold the whip just a second. Ladies and gentlemen.
You get it done.
Okay. Just vamp? Yeah. Here's Willie Nelson with Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain. Well, that's the standard kind of one.
Great.
All right.
In the twilight glow, I see her. Blue eyes crying in the rain. And when we kissed goodbye and parted, I knew we'd never meet again. Love is like a dying ember, and only memories remain. Through the ages,
I mean, Christmas is coming right up now, isn't it?
This is a great song that Willie wrote years ago.
It's a true story, too. I was living in Fort Worth, and there was this guy who was stayed out on the sidewalks out there collecting money, and he would sell pencils and whatever. And on the street corner there in Fort Worth. And, of course, they tell me that his wife come by and picked him up every evening and dropped him off every morning in their new Cadillac. So, so obviously he was doing okay. Pretty paper, pretty ribbons of blue, wrap your presents to your darling from you. Pretty pencils to write I love you. Pretty paper, pretty ribbons of blue. Crowded streets, busy feet, hustle by him. Downtown shoppers, Christmas is nigh. There he sits, all alone on the sidewalk, hoping that you won't pass him by. Should you stop? Better not. Much too busy. You better hurry. My, how time does fly. And in the distance, the ringing of laughter. And in the midst of the laughter, he cries. Pretty paper, pretty ribbons of blue, wrap your presents to your darling from you. Pretty pencils to write I love you. Pretty paper, pretty ribbons of blue.
Oh, that's fabulous. I love that.
Great stuff. Goodness gracious. Kinky cried a tear on that one. Shed a little tear.
Whiskey River, take my mind. Don't let her memory torture me. Whiskey River, don't run dry. You're all I got, take care of me. Whiskey River, take my mind. Don't let her memory torture me. Whiskey River, don't run dry. You're all I've got, take care of me. Imus in the morning. Imus in the morning. Flashback.
Hey, Bubba, what's so funny?
I got a little something up my sleeve, baby.
Your videotape whitewater testimony?
Nope, something even funnier. Check it out. I'm giving the speech that inducts Imus into the NAB Hall of Fame.
Wow! I guess you'll be getting a little revenge, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Do a little for me.
That's what she said. Sorry, I'm feeling a little facetious. Okay, I come to the podium, right, and it's like a total surprise, so he's already started to sweat. And then I go, well, wait a minute. These aren't my notes. Why, these look like cash vouchers from record companies, and there's some sort of white powder all over them, and a note. Dear Don, thanks for your continued support. Sincerely, Charlie Compliment. These must be yours, Don, from the old days.
Cool.
Then I'm going to go, what can I say about Don Imus except lose the cowboy hat, Gabby? It looks stupid.
Yeah.
And then I start in. You know, the first time I heard Don Imus, he was doing this Reverend Hargis character, which I guess is both his trademark and the only thing he didn't steal from Wolfman Jack. Anyway, it's a takeoff on a Southern preacher, and he's at the pulpit, and Don, obviously so totally wrapped up in the character, said, everybody say, baby. And I remember thinking at the time, I bet that's not the first time someone said that about his wife.
That one should get some booze.
Then I'm going to say, although he's a media icon and is being inducted into the Broadcasting Hall of Fame, Imus hasn't really helped himself. Imagine how differently his career might have been if years ago, back in the hallways at NBC, Imus hadn't have said, "Hang on, Chuck, I have to take a leak and make a phone call. I'll just be a second."
Yeah.
Or, "Boy, you're a big woman. I'm in the Marines. Can I buy you a drink?"
What a mo.
Or, "Gee, I think it'd be a great idea to make a speech at the Radio and Television Correspondents' Dinner." But Don has supported me for many years. Although I'm not known for being especially forthcoming about my personal affairs, it can now be revealed that when Don ordered those 1,200 hamburgers to go, they were for me.
Let me ask you something, Bubba. Did you write anything funny for this deal?
Everybody knows I'm a big Imus fan. Fred Imus, that is. Matter of fact, I came up with a great new item for Fred to sell at the Auto Body Express. Imus in the morning bumper stickers with catchphrases like, "Honk if you're not getting it done." "Your honor student can't suck enough." And of course, don't blame me, I listen to Howard Stern.
Imus already has one on his limo. I host a nationally syndicated radio program, and I tell people how to vote.
Good point. Maybe I'll just stay on the dais and chew the fat with Deirdre.
Should be a pretty lengthy conversation.
Go, baby.
The bars are all closed. They were just both front-running weasels.
Rob?
Rob
Bartlett? Absolutely. Well, that's just
He would take a bullet for the eye man.
worst.
He wouldn't take anything for the eye man. He wouldn't take one of those paintballs for the eye man.
Are you kidding me? He'd shove me in front of a train in a cocaine heartbeat.
He wouldn't take a rubber dart with a suction cup on it.
He wouldn't take anything. You threw a cheeseburger at me, well, he might take that.
I got it. That's mine.
Your radio sounds funny in the morning. You're listening to Imus in the morning.
It's in the hole. Wow, what a putt from the shark.
Greg Norman takes the lead of the Masters. Good morning. Mike Breen with sports. Todd Fagola with the call. A record time. 9 under 63 for the Shark.
Tommy Moe.
God almighty.
How about Tommy Moe? Jesus, God almighty.
Time to queer.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.